And action. We're here. Welcome, everyone, one and all, young and old, preferably older, at least enough to be here legally. Otherwise, we will have to report you to the President of the United States for summary execution. I don't make the rules. But welcome either way to the world of Cairne, episode 6. Hello!
Good evening, everyone.
How is everyone doing this fine evening?
Pretty good. Pretty chill.
Yeah, ready for some craziness? Some insanity? Some wackadoodleness?
Oh, please.
I'm not hearing all the excitement. Where's everyone's excitement? Where's all the cheer and
Listen, I'm only about a quarter of the way into this drink. Let me get about 2/3 of the way through. We'll get there.
I hear you. It's all good. Well, as you guys know, when last we left off, we were in not just the library, but the library's sub-library down in the basement, the secret stash, as it were. And you guys had just stumbled across a number of artifacts. Lovely little artifacts. And,
oh yeah, what did we find?
We found
artifacts.
some bullshit, bro.
Oh, okay.
They were lovely, and they
Bullshit
were
that we
artifacts.
still don't know what it does.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I have a list. Shield, glowing book, gauntlets, a sword, a quill, a crown, a scepter, and a bundle of golden chains.
Interesting.
Saoirse has the crown. Uki has the gauntlets. Listener has the book and quill. Wilhelm has the shield. I think Saoirse has the scepter and the chains as well.
Yes.
And Wilhelm took the sword.
Thus far, we have a vague notion what the book and the quill do. I'm not sure anybody else has checked theirs yet.
I don't think anyone's checked them at all yet, but that was just a matter of lack of time more than anything.
Yeah.
You guys were having a day.
Some shit's happening.
Yeah, and now Amelie is trying to get us out of the secret portion of the library so we can escape the library safely without drawing the ire of the librarian. And when we last left off, we were about to go up, and I think Genesis had just, revealed herself once more.
Kind of. I think she did and then went and obfuscated herself a bit with that little mind trick she does.
No, she's just down there.
Oh, okay. I thought you had obfuscated. That's all good.
She
That
hasn't
makes it
said
even
anything
easier.
yet, though. So.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about where we left off. She was just about to lead you guys out.
Sure, let's go with that. Yeah. I mean.
I do have an interesting note here that I remember writing down now that just says Ogham taste with their feet. I believe that was a new
No, these are facts. True facts.
a new little lore tidbit there. For those of you following along at home, make sure you fill out your read-along books with that little tidbit.
That's where they keep all the groundwater.
It's true. It makes sense.
Those are the only things I taste. I taste groundwater and air.
How deep do your feet go?
He is pretty
I have
big.
to stand in place for a while.
He is pretty big.
He puts down roots from the soles of his feet, like in that one sci-fi short story from the 70s.
he's got little tubers that pop out when he stands still.
I just have a much more efficient osmotic membrane than your average plant.
The bottom of his foot is actually a tongue.
Like the capillary action of the foot-based root system. If you get close, you can actually hear it make a slurping noise.
Don't get close. It'll disturb you.
Well, depending, because if you're talking to someone who has a foot fetish, yeah.
I suppose that's a... Yeah.
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 It's also part of the reason listeners move so slowly.
Yep.
Neon Lich only feats.
Only feats. Nice. Wilhelm's out.
He was done with this.
Yeah.
Too close. Too close.
He just remembered something. Welcome back. You're muted if you're trying to talk. There you go.
We heard your earlier comment. We just thought you had resigned in protest.
I won't lie, I was going to make a joke about leaving after that comment. Apparently I actually did.
Yeah. Hey, no one would blame you.
So have we noticed Genesis is standing there yet?
She's not hiding.
I know, but had we noticed it yet at the end of last session? I don't remember.
She's kind of was there.
Yeah, I don't think we had, because, like, literally it was Arlie telling us, like, hey, is everyone ready to go up? And yes, and Master Miss was like, hey, before we go, and then she was like, you know, Genesis is gonna reveal herself, so, like, we had, like, just left it there.
Yeah, it just kind of faded back into existence.
I could really use a couple hours for a nap. The librarian kind of interrupted my nap earlier.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Oh.
That would be a plot twist, huh?
Where's Brooklyn? Are we talking center or park?
Center. Downtown.
Oh, that's like 2 miles over that way.
Hey, Master Miss.
Park is outside my front door.
What might Genesis be doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Standing there?
Yes.
Okay.
Her chin is like tucked to her chest, and she's just kind of like, other than that, her shoulders are relaxed and her arms are by her side. Nothing's in her hands. Nothing's like unusual. She's just there, kind of. There.
It seems like I need a hug body language.
A red alert siren is going off somewhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
A dangerous situation is approaching.
What do I roll for bear hug?
That's a grapple. So
How do I oppose that?
you could just say no.
Acrobatics resist the grapple.
Persuasion.
You gotta dodge out of that bear hug.
Intimidation. Oh, that's gonna be a rough one.
Oh, wow.
He is
Okay.
so good at hugging.
There's a chance it's not the first time you've been hugged by an elf.
I would like to persuade him that that's a bad idea.
Go for it.
Nah. Alright,
Okay,
well,
seems
fair
like
enough.
a bad idea, I guess.
So, your guide is gently, kind of in her wispy, spectral way, kind of ushering you guys towards a wall port here, which has begun to slide open slowly. A lot of dust and rubble kind of kicking up. This hasn't been used in some time. You can hear some type of mechanism in the background kind of grinding, and maybe an occasional gear clicking as it misses from a cog. But it does kind of shudderingly open up to reveal a small compartment inside, and she's trying to usher you guys into it.
Saoirse will step inside.
Okay.
generally easily ushered into things.
I have to remember that. Is anybody not allowing themselves to be ushered?
I don't trust her. But okay.
Okay. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
There's so many good books to read.
Is anyone trying?
Read dwarf.
Is anyone trying to steal a book?
Was there a book we were stealing?
I have received permission to take the one specific book.
Yeah, other than that one.
Nah, these are no good to me.
Okay. So we're good then. She won't have to kill anyone today.
What if I promise to bring it back?
It's not that kind of library.
Oh.
So everybody is ushered? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. In that case, we will return once more to the surface.
Oh.
Oh.
So, basically what happens is you're ushered into a small, very cramped chamber. It smells like old musty stone, oil, and there's this weird kind of acrid smell that fills your nose as it begins to shudder and close the doors behind you. She waves gingerly, and you kind of, as the doors shut, you hear her say, like, "It's been a pleasure, but don't come back." And the doors shut, and the things begin to kind of rumble and shake, and you feel it beginning to move and ascend upward. Kind of slow, and it jolts and jostles a little bit. You guys are like really packed in there, like sardine cans. It's uncomfortable. You guys are getting really familiar with one another as it slowly begins to go up, shaking and shuddering the whole way.
What kind of newfangled tube is this?
Actually, I
back
think
in
the
my
tube
day.
is quite old.
Back in my day, climbed up vine ladders ourselves.
I don't believe the dwarves ever climbed up vine ladders, actually.
Dwarfs.
Has used to climb up vine ladders through the snow barefoot.
Up both ways.
Up both ways.
Went up a tree both ways.
So it gets up, and it feels like it's taking forever, and that acrid smell kind of gets worse and worse, and then there's like this subtle changing of the air where you begin this, from the dry mustiness that was kind of filling your nostrils, there's this deep sense of rancid humidity that begins to kind of fill the chamber. It's like, it's kind of like if you disturb the bayou after it's been sitting out for a while undisturbed. Some of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But that old rot of vegetation and God knows what else kind of seeping into the chamber with you. Anybody doing anything?
Not me.
Okay.
It's a little rancid, but as long as we're not inundated with the bog water, we ought to be fine.
Okay. So at this point, the walls, ceiling, and floor begin to sweat.
Oh no, we're being inundated with the bog water.
It's just beating right now, and occasionally rolling down the sides and dripping on you. And you've been in the water already. You know it's not as horrible as most of the water you encounter is. It's not burning you or anything. It's just really gross. But yeah, it steadily gets a little worse. The dripping increases, and it's you guys are, your faces and your heads are kind of getting wet, and your shirts and shoulders.
What does this compartment look like?
A rectangular box.
Do I see that the flow of the water is part of what is getting us out of here, or around the outside? Like,
can't really tell. It's a stone box. You can't see out.
So if we could find a way to freeze the water that's coming in, we could prevent it more from coming in?
I mean, possibly. You might freeze to death. That would basically put you in a deep freezer. It's pretty cold down here to begin with.
It's a stone box and a dwarven elevator, so I would consult Uki to see if there's any way we could seal it off that wouldn't require colder temperatures.
This one's a little beyond her. Like, she knows stonemasonry, but engineering is not her forte.
Okay.
So it carries on. It gets a little worse until it's actually dripping. There's maybe an inch of standing water in the bottom at this point.
Do we see any indication of the surface, or is it just continuing dripping?
Just dripping. Like, you still can't see outside, so...
So if Uki knows stonemasonry, I would ask what material he would use to like, seal a dam or something, to try to figure out what the next step is that I need to do.
Once again, that's not really her forte.
So she just, like, knows...
Basic masonry, like bricklaying masonry.
She knows bricklaying, but she doesn't know, like, what it takes to make mortar, or what types of mortar are used in different situations.
Are you wanting to use mortar?
I mean, it's a stone box.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume people have made done bricklaying near water. You know? And, like, dams and stuff.
Well, it's a little different when we're using older technology. Like, I don't know. It's the cops, bro. It's a little different when you're using this older technology. Like, for one thing, like, dam building is not something that happens in the modern here in Cairne, because the water is so dangerous. So when they're building, they're not building near water or on water. The mortar that is mixed, there is some water involved, obviously, but it's
Cairne's Roman concrete.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I mend the stone then? Just, like, fix it? Or...
It's not broken. As far as you can tell, there's no visible cracks or breaking.
Where is it dripping from? The stone itself?
Yeah, it's like it's seeping through.
Okay, that's not something I can fix. Thanks.
So it shudders again. And you guys, I mean, it'd be fair to say you might be getting nervous or worried.
Where's the air going?
It's a good question.
Are there any indications that there's air seeping out of here? Because if there's water coming in, there has to be air going out.
Well, nothing obvious, I'll say.
Start looking for it.
There's not like a tube or anything carrying it out.
Okay.
And if it's just porous stone, it'd be hard to tell probably. Just because of the surface area involved.
I'm gonna start looking around.
Alright. Tell you what,
Figure out where.
if you'd like, and of course this means everybody, you are welcome to make
A perception check?
a perspiration check, yes.
20?
Look at that. Look at that. Is anyone going to roll under a 17? Let's see. There we go.
Wilhelm? Nay.
There it is. 2 under. Okay. I don't feel quite so bad. So I will say, those of you who passed, Genesis as Saoirse, you notice that you're no longer just moving upward, but in fact, you're moving up and down slowly, but just slightly, almost as if you're bobbing, perhaps, in water.
Looked like we got to the top.
Possibly, yeah.
I think we're floating in water. You could probably get out of here safely.
Where's the door?
I don't know.
I mean, you can still see, like, kind of which side you came in from, because you're all crammed in there. It'd be hard to... It's not like everyone is moving around a lot. There's no visible door or seam there.
Anybody have
How
any ideas?
tall is the chamber?
About 7 foot.
Oh, okay.
With a little bit of time. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. You just start punching the top.
Okay. You're gonna start punching the top?
Unless anybody's got a better idea. I'm 6'9", I can reach.
Yeah.
With time, I might be able to make something to eat through the stone, but it would take me a little bit of time.
That sounds less painful.
So
Wake me up if you need me then. I'll try and get that short rest meditate in to finish my rest from the before the librarian then.
So we're floating in the water in this large rectangular box made of
And
stone.
on a stone raft death trap tunnel, he'd be like, I'm gonna take a nap.
So we're floating.
Yeah. That's
we
what you
can
think.
tell we're floating. We're bobbing up and down.
Feels like it, yeah.
Can we sense where the water level is outside this box while it's continually filling with water? Can we sense where, like...
Are you using an ability to do this? Because you can't visually determine it.
Okay, so I'd have to use one. Okay. I don't know. Anybody else have any ideas?
Church, my vision has basically nothing to do with actual light. What's above us?
Well, in outside of the encasement?
Yes. Well, like, yeah, basically. Like, going straight up, give me the distances to things.
Okay. You're going to be a little hampered. Because you're encased in stone.
Yes, of course.
But I'll give you a chance. Let's do another perception check.
Alright.
Or investigation. I'll give you your dealer's choice there.
I'll do investigation. Why not? Just for fun.
Alright. Okay. You can tell that it's about maybe about 2/3 underwater.
I'm not sure I understand exactly. 2/3 underwater. So the water level ceases about 2/3 of the way up towards what I perceive as the top?
Yeah.
Okay. How far is that, roughly?
That's about 7 foot tall.
Okay. It's really not that bad. I'm sorry for having been distracted. A friend of mine called in for a consultation on something real quick, but we're fully enclosed above, right?
Completely, yeah.
Yeah.
No visible doors or seams.
Just solid stone work, 7 foot up, most of which, but not all of which, is underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No visible doors or seams, yet there was an entrance that we used to get in here, and we can easily look over at it, right?
You can see what side you came in on, yeah.
Okay.
Do we appear to have been bobbing the entire time and not gone anywhere, or did we distinctly rise some amount and now we've stopped at the top of the tunnel?
You did rise some amount. You're not really sure when it stopped. It was very subtle.
Okay. Well, our benefactor in this case was an arcanist. I imagine that may have been part of her opening of the mechanism of the door at the bottom. I am an arcanist. I'm gonna search for a mechanism here at the top.
Okay. Let's
Shall I give you ability roll?
Yes, please.
There you are, so.
Solid. So, what you're noticing, you kind of reach out with your ability. You probe the box. And,
Sense for conduits of energy.
What you're sensing is that this is like a shifting... It's like covered in shifting panels, like a puzzle box. And you can kind of, with your arcane abilities, you can actually kind of feel out like invisible seams where this would be, and you can see the multiple ways that this could potentially open from every side, just depending on how you shift the pieces.
Okay. I will take a moment to communicate this to the party. I'll just give them the rapid-fire broadcast. Certainly this was constructed by arcanists of the olden days. It's an ingenious construction. I might be able to open it in any direction, but I'm not certain which direction would not see us quickly flooded. So if it's possible to rearrange to my liking, the real question is, does any direction lead to a non-flooded tunnel rather than the sort of groundwater or literal like lake that we see every other way? So is there a patch of wall that is not seeping water?
The top has kind of
just
stopped.
Well, the top, yes, 7 foot up and it's dry. It's true.
Yeah.
Could I possibly rearrange the panels in such a way that the top opens?
You can certainly try.
All right, I'll tell everybody. I will attempt to take us out of the top.
So I'm going to need an ability roll to firmly grasp the sliding segments magically.
Yes.
And then we'll do an intelligence check to make sure that you can solve the puzzle
Sure.
correctly.
Ooh, I'm gonna hit the reroll on that one. I'm gonna hit the reroll on that, boy. We don't need to know what that does.
How many of those do we have again?
Listener has one on his sheet.
After the one you used before? From...
Shit. Good question.
Because you used it when the whole thing in the room happened.
Uh-oh.
It's been a few weeks and I don't remember.
He is very good at keeping
I
his sheet
definitely
up to
remember
date.
that because it was a crit fail that time too, wasn't it? Like
here-
you needed to make a save against what I was doing, and
Just
you made it.
to save trouble of having to go back and look and everything, we'll say you have it, and I'll mark down that we used it this time. Okay.
Appreciate you.
No worries. No worries. I don't mind. I'm a kindly person.
Kind and generous game master.
So yeah, you kind of fumble with it a little bit at first. Probably because your feet are tasting the awful water that's in there with you.
Very distracting.
But you manage to kind of grip a hold of the. Ooh, Az is just punching people.
I could.
Punch the stones. Now we
Will I punch out the stones?
well, hang on. Let's let him try to open it first.
Okay.
I'd be ashamed to shatter the box and you guys go pummeling down to the bottom again.
Yeah.
I mean, I punched the top of the box. Hopefully
Let's-
that doesn't break it.
Let's wait and make sure we don't invalidate your nap.
Okay. I'm still napping. It was a misclick.
Sorry.
It really was. It was.
No, we believe. We believe.
All right, so give me your intelligence.
So you want raw int, or could I possibly argue proficiency in something? Investigation, perhaps.
Well, it's not very. Let's just go raw for this one. It's
All right.
because you're just figuring out basically a pattern for the puzzle.
There you are.
Yeah, it takes you a few tries, and you're kind of. It's like somebody fumbling with a Rubik's cube for a minute, you know. But eventually, like you guys begin to see like bits of the stone kind of part and move and shift above your heads, as listeners kind of invisibly reaching up and manipulating all the sliding portions of it, and bit by bit it gets open more and more and more, until eventually the top is actually open.
Ah. The magic users of the olden days certainly did like to complicate things. I would simply have installed a door.
But where's the fun in that?
They did.
No, as they installed a rather complicated puzzle.
Yeah, a door.
It was an elevator that led to the lowered levels of the library, to be fair. I think it was more of a security lock than anything. So yeah, if you pull up a little bit, you could kind of peek out the side. And you guys are...
You're cutting out again.
Yeah, you cut out super hard.
Did I? Oh, here.
Yeah,
could
you
kind of-
said you can kind of, and I assumed it to be P.
Oh,
You said.
there we go.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome.
There we go. Let's see if that fixes it, I hope. Discord hates me.
Yeah, you made it
You're
up to
alright.
what I assumed to be the word peer.
Yeah,
You're
you
already
peer
sounding
over
a
the
little
top.
better.
You peer over the top, and you can kind of see that you're bobbing just to the southwest of the top of the dome, where the top of the dome was visible, sticking out of the water.
Which direction did Arlie say the Shanakijan embassy was again?
Did she say?
She did. She told a listener who told Saoirse. It was like in the very beginning. It was like the echoing something, I want to say.
Oh yeah, that wasn't necessarily the embassy, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever that building was. What direction was it in?
That was the echoing grotto. That would have been west.
Okay. So we're heading southwest.
Well, you're just to the southwest of the dome, like just off the southwest edge of it.
First, we may wish to get out of the hole.
And into the water. Let's go swimming.
Well, it's not that bad.
What's this stone made of? Like what type of?
It's some type of very porous stone. Do Do you have the ability to identify types of stone?
Probably not. That would
Uki
probably
does,
be.
though.
Yeah, I mean, if she wants to, which maybe maybe her basic masonry doesn't do stone identification, which is fair. I mean, if it's porous, it's not really going to be useful. So that's just that question.
Secret notes. Hang on. Secret letters.
Maybe I could seal the stone, but like,
Okay. So,
why?
do you want her to try? I don't mind if you want her to have her try and identify it. She has a good working knowledge of types of stone
Sure.
as a mason.
I'll see. If only for weight requirements, we can ask.
Okay. We're getting smart.
Weight requirements and like resistance to impact damage.
Yeah. I guess we could do a tool check
Okay.
for the masonry tools or whatever. I think she has that.
Oh, for her. Hang on.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to try, I'll give you a chance.
No.
Genesis licks the rock. It's stone.
Teacher's tools, dexterity.
That'll work. That'll
It
work.
wasn't as good as it could have been.
No, that's fine. 17. That's not bad. She can kind of tell pretty quickly this is pumice stone.
Okay. So it doesn't weigh a lot, and 7 feet by, I'm guessing it's a rectangle. What are the other dimensions? 6 feet? Tight space?
I'm gonna say about 3 by 3 by 7.
Okay.
Like I said, you guys were squeezed in there.
3 by 3 by 7.
But yeah, it was pumice.
gonna go
Gosh,
ahead
that's barely enough space for one of me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that that's
Squeezed.
gonna fall within my lift weight limitations.
Oh god, we're doing math and science.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Just the question is, how much does a listener weigh?
Substantial. I've got him down as 340 pounds.
Nah, never mind. If we were talking about normal people, then maybe, but nah, we're all gonna have to get out of here. So, yeah, I can't pick this up.
I mean, like, you don't have to worry about me. I float. On water, not on air. That's more of a you trick.
So if I pick the box up, I have to pick everybody that's in it up. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Listener has at this point levered himself up to the rim of the well/tunnel.
So
Just sitting on it now.
Are you ready for this? The approximate weight of just the box, not including the water and you guys, is 1,462.77 kilograms. If ChatGPT is accurate. But, for this, we'll say it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's too much. Alright.
That was a lot of math.
Sorry.
No, I was impressed that it pulled that out.
Nice. Yeah, so that's out. We could try to break off one of the sides of this and just use that. But
There you go, in case you're curious.
could we perhaps close the box when we get out of it and then use the air that's trapped in it for a time?
I'm going to give you my usual answer of you can certainly try.
Yeah, I'd have to ask the listener that because he'd be the one to close it.
You could just swim.
Do we want to swim?
I think we've already established that half the party cannot swim because they never
How many of us have
learned.
had pools growing up? I mean,
Well,
All of the water on the planet is blighted.
yeah.
not Wilhelm's house. Wilhelm had a pool.
You guys broke
Yeah.
all of the water on the planet?
Have you seen the ocean?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been there yet.
You have been there. It's awful.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I was in a tube. It doesn't count.
We were in the ship. I would think you've seen it.
Okay. The ocean's terrible. You guys ruined all the whole water.
Now, when you say you guys,
Yeah, you
I
kids.
do hope that
You kids.
I do hope that you're talking to him,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Because I had nothing to do with
You
this.
know,
shit.
you guys have explained a little bit of history.
I mean, to
Listener
be fair,
pipes up.
when that
The
happened,
water at the point of inception is actually quite delightful. It's only fatal to most races.
Mhm.
to be fair, the humans were all one nation when they did that. So.
Nah.
Yeah.
They were
you
all
know.
one nation when they conspired to cast this mega spell to get rid of one of the subspecies of human beings, Shawnakesians. Like, those are people, right? They wanted to get rid of them.
Shawnakesians aren't really a subspecies of human, but yeah.
They thought
they're
that
people.
they thought that they were stinky and they wanted them removed.
But they're also people. They're also humans, right? Human
Well-
beings and human beings.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
they're-
listen, if you guys are just gonna have some infighting or whatever, then that's not really my place to interfere in some like cultural civil war BS. But you broke the whole planet while you did, and that just
Basically,
like
I
that
was
doesn't
on
sit
vacation
right.
at the time. I don't know. I was walking across the beach. I don't know. Y'all are being petty over there. So how are we gonna get out of here?
He's dangling his feet in the water and he says, "It's not blighted, it's just not pleasant."
Genesis is gonna try to scurry up to the ledge as well to get at least someone
He can
out
pick
of
you
the
up.
water. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand to stand on.
And we'll
Anybody else?
We'll all sit on the edge of the pumice stone as more water seeps in below us. And we figure out a plan of how to swim this.
You're welcome to take a moment to remove calluses from your feet while you're there too.
Very
Ooh,
good.
Also true.
I do that.
Just have a quick makeover while you're there. Just
It's
nobody,
a quiet sound of dead skin rubbing off.
nobody think about
Listener looks on in horror like you're removing a portion of your tongue.
nobody think about Parmesan.
Alright, so
Awesome.
we've emerged from a fully pumice well with a pumice floating slab in it. Is this correct?
Yeah. Well, well, you can't really see what's under it, so you're not really sure.
We assume it to be floating given that it's risen.
Yeah.
Do any of the pieces of this pumice box break off inside the box?
Do you want to break a piece off?
Yes.
It's pumice. It's not like horribly hard. Honestly, if
I
Az had
would-
started punching it, it probably would have started crumbling.
I would love to break off a couple pieces of this.
Okay, go ahead. You can have a couple pieces of pumice stone.
Yay!
Genesis is
the-
going to have the nicest feet on the planet.
So the actual weight of the slab is not the weight of the entire box. The slab might even be removable given that it's freely moving in the well.
Well, the box, the rectangular box you were in, that's the what I posted there would be the weight. I think.
All right. How far away are we from something solid?
If your previous swim is any indication, it's not that far.
All right.
Because you remember you
Then
were
how
kind of
about-
you were wading, and then the bottom fell out under you, and you guys tumbled. So like it
Oh,
wasn't
that's
that
right.
deep.
All right. I'll pull myself out of the box and just kind of start backstroking around the little tube.
Show off.
Show off. Yeah, I can swim. You guys can't swim? Come on, the water's great.
I step down into the bog. How deep is it?
Right here, it's deeper than you can touch.
I
Alright,
have a question.
I begin to float like a log again.
Okay. What's your question?
How many is a couple?
2, generally.
Okay.
Generally, couple, 2, few, 3.
Okay, I want to get like one that's like the size of like the palm of my hand, like, and then another one that's the size of my hand,
Okay.
and then a third one that's like thinner and the thickness of my hand, but like half the length, if that makes sense, like smaller
As long as you can carry them.
handheldable pieces.
Yeah, see, that's
like,
fine. Wrap them up in your bag or whatever.
awesome.
Exfoliate later. Okay, so I'm gonna set this a little bit at ease for you guys. Using help, provided help is provided with the people who can swim and or float, listener Wilhelm has. The rest of you can use their help to get the 10-15 feet out to where you can start touching the bottom again. And carefully kind of wade forward if you want.
Yeah, Saoirse will definitely accept that help.
Okay. Like, I'm not going to force them to help you. I'm assuming they would, but if not, that's fine too.
Genesis looks over at Az and starts like mimicking what he's doing in the air, like as she's sitting on the edge of this box. Like, why are you wiggling your arms? What does this do? And as she's doing that, she falls backwards into the water and like is still making the motions, and then's like, oh.
She falls backwards and starts backpedaling deeper
Is
into
this-
the water. What?
Is
Well,
this
I'm
swimming?
moving.
Is this what swimming is, guys? Am I doing it?
Keep your core stable.
Do you want to try and make this your pivotal seventh warrior, what, a 13th warrior moment where you just learn how to swim?
If I'm allowed to, and if I'm not and I start drowning, I'll just rescue myself. It's fine.
Give me a survival roll.
Oh my god. Okay, let's see where that is. Alright. Okay.
Don't panic. You're more buoyant than you think you are. Just have a big surface area.
Was that
I
a
thought you were
comment?
about to say, "Don't panic. You're more buoyant when you're calm."
Was that a comment on Genesis's weight?
What?
I mean-
No, just like in general.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear you panic when I asked that. Come on, you got this. Survival.
Oh god. 22.
22.
Okay.
Good, very nice.
So yeah,
Jeez.
you're not an Olympic swimmer by any means, but following his lead, you kind of get the idea that aerodynamically, this is not too different from when you're using your abilities to hover around and fly. You can feel it moving just like the air would around you, and you kind of get the idea. So yeah, you're treading water. Excitedly, I imagine. Look at me, guys!
Let's go!
Alright. But yes, without too much trouble, you guys do manage to wade to where you can stand again. What direction are you headed? Just so we get a consensus.
Which way is towards the center that Saoirse can feel?
West by northwest.
All right, she will start. She will point out that the direction we need to go is in a westward direction. So.
Okay. Is everybody in agreement?
I guess.
Okay.
Never split the party, so we'll
Hardly
all
opposed.
go together.
You guys are welcome to split the party and go trekking out in all kinds of different directions. I don't mind at all.
Let's split up, gang.
We are at a collective maybe like 5th or a 6th of our HP total right now.
I'm just gonna say that it always works out just fine for Scooby-Doo and the gang.
Yeah, you guys are pretty damaged. Thanks in no small part to me. Sorry about that.
That was just kind of it was one of those things, Actually, listener needs to ask you about that.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were gonna do that. We just kind of, oh, hi, you're back. Let's go.
He was anxious to do it because the last time he tried to talk to you, he got the biggest psychic slap possible.
Oof.
He was observing patiently to see if you were, like, in control.
Yep.
So, real quick, you guys get your foothold, kind of as this potential conversation is getting ready to occur, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
There is a couple hundred years of muck and sediment and rot underneath you that you're walking through right now. Okay? So every step you take, your feet sink into this mire of grossness. Your boots are kind of filling up with muck and water, and your pants are soaked, your clothes are soaked, obviously. The smell is just kind of overwhelmingly gross. Genesis, you're starting to develop a seething migraine headache at the moment. And it's starting at the base of your skull and starting to kind of like push forward slowly.
Is this where the other one started?
Yeah.
No.
So
Nope.
what I need is a survival roll from all of you who are wearing shoes.
Not I.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm not wearing shoes.
10.
Okay.
Oh, God.
12.
What is this?
16 for Wilhelm.
Uki's probably got shoes, right?
She
Oh
does.
god.
Okay.
13 for
So
and do the thing.
Genesis and Saoirse, as you're trekking, you begin this trek and your feet are sinking, and you can feel that suction kind of pull as you dislodge your foot. It slows you down a great deal. At various points during this trek, you each lose a boot in the muck.
Oh well.
Are you going to leave it, or do you want to try to fish it out?
I'll fish mine out.
Saoirse will try and get hers.
Okay. Give me a disadvantaged investigation roll for each of you. 14.
Oh, I just saw careful eyes. Uki has advantage or proficiency in that skill. Is it already marked on there, or
Yeah, well, it's
do I add that?
hidden enemies and other threats.
Yeah, losing your boot's a threat.
well, Uki didn't lose a boot though.
Yeah, 13. She made it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I just
you're-
wanted to
you're
make
good.
sure that.
You're good.
Okay, so
Better to
I need
ask and check, right?
disadvantaged investigation. You said.
Yeah, you got this. It's fine.
I don't know that I do, but I'll give it a shot. Let me just make sure I'm on the right sheet here. Yep.
You got this. It's fine. What's the worst that could
know.
happen?
I don't know.
Look at that.
26.
Yeah, you actually don't even. It doesn't even completely come off your foot. You're just like, whoa, nope.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are okay. You managed to recover your footwear. I was kind of hoping we'd lose some footwear in this just for the fun of it.
I imagine Az is just like walking on top of the muck with elven light-footedness.
It's seeping through his between his toes,
Genesis takes a second to look at Uki's boots and then reties her shoelaces with like the stalwart and staunch like tight ties that Uki's using, like
Wilhelm's the one
different-
with the double knots.
different knots and stuff.
Wilhelm's got the nice shoes with the double knots.
Is he near enough to me for me to see that?
Well, not at this point. We were both kind of half underwater.
Okay.
So anyway, if you guys want to have that discussion, you're welcome to it, and we'll say it's happening as you're talking. Anybody else that wants to do anything while you're trekking, by all means, now is the time.
Okay. You feel a very hesitant mental knock at the door there, Genesis.
Is the headache still ongoing?
Yes, very slowly getting worse. Very slowly.
So it's a migraine headache now, and it's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So it's already bad.
It's already hurting. I mean, you're pretty used to headaches because of being a mentalist. You get them a lot. Usually the peace-bound mask will blot out the things that cause them.
But this time I'm wearing it, and I'm still feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the response you would hear from that knock is, like, words are failing me right now. Like a
That's an acceptable response.
like an intense, like the sound you would hear if you like were hitting against a drum, like slightly.
Like a throbbing.
High tension.
Yeah, like the high. You can almost sense the tension of the surface of a drum just being drawn as tight as possible, and if anything comes through this, it's gonna either like break it open completely or it's gonna bounce off or something like that. Like this is as tight as possible, right? So that's what you sense, like this tight surface, right?
Tight as a drum.
Yeah. Yeah, so an equally anxious response comes back to you. Come in, but be careful.
I like it.
Very quietly. In the whispering voice of the trees, listener asks,
Yep.
Were you able to fend off your psychic assailant?
No.
That's very unfortunate to hear, as it seemed quite powerful.
Worse
How is
still,
your
I worry
current
it may be
status?
coming back. I feel another headache coming on, and I don't know what's causing it.
I'm afraid I must admit, I do not believe any of us here are a match for you, should it seize control over your abilities, or cause you to use them as you did.
What happened last time this happened?
How aware were you of what was going on once we reached the second floor of the library? The underground section.
I heard a voice. It sounded like people were coming at me from all sides. And then I ran. I was convinced of who it was, but I don't know how that's possible.
I believe some form of illusion may have been used, even if only the kind that you are more proficient in. That would have been myself and Wilhelm, most likely. I attempted to enter uninvited, I suppose, when you seemed to have been locked in some titanic struggle. The backlash was quite powerful, and you disappeared after this, only reappearing shortly before we left.
Are you okay?
I will survive. I would not survive a second time, I don't think.
Would Genesis know that Wilhelm neutralized a psychic before? I was there for that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. That happened in the bubble.
Yes.
Well, after Wilhelm created it, he went out of his way to tell you about it
Yeah.
because he wanted you to understand that it did exist and to apologize for it.
That's right. And that's very Wilhelm. So yeah, you know all about it.
What are we gonna do? The only option takes so much time to make, and we're in the middle of this bog.
Wait, are you hearing the whispers?
I wish mine were that quiet.
Do you want to try my dampening cuffs?
Would that work on me?
Do you still have those?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. No, they probably wouldn't
Genesis
work.
holds out her wrist, like.
Yeah. Honestly, they wouldn't because they're attuned to arcane use, specifically probably divine arcane, and you pull from a totally different source. We can say you try them and it doesn't affect you though, just so you know in character as well.
Okay. Is there any way to stave off the headaches until Wilhelm can make the stuff he made for that other dampening thing?
You asking me?
Have you tried meditation?
I think if anything, I'd be asking listener and looking at Wilhelm at the same time. If we're all in the same thought thread, but does meditation stop this?
It can help.
I mean, I'll try anything if it works, but I just don't. We're gonna need to stop and make whatever thing he can make. Like, fast. Like, right now.
Why are
This
you
is
losing
getting-
control?
It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. Like, I can try the meditation thing, but we need an option.
There's always mercy.
What's mercy?
No.
Wilhelm, being a doctor, is quite familiar with that kind of mercy.
Can you make the thing, Wilhelm?
Listener was kind enough to give me part of him. To create this particular thing, I need something from a psychic creature. So I'm working on it. Part of it isn't the time as much as it is the material. I do also have a particular drug that is used to treat normal versions of psychosis, calming the patient.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
Same item?
And
No. There are two distinct things. One of which I actually have already.
You
The one I have
Huh?
is a psychotropic. Its use is to calm patients down to help them regain mental stress. Perhaps if we, yeah, psychotropic. Perhaps if we buffered that, perhaps with either arcane or spiritual energy, that might do it, and that's something that I have access to right now.
Ooh, are we doing ayahuasca trip?
So, I have a question though, because I thought last
I'll
session you already
shaman.
made it.
The psychic?
The thing to neutralize her abilities. I thought you already made that last session and gave listener a dose of it.
I'm working on it. I don't think it's quite done yet.
Oh,
Listener
sorry.
gave me part of him.
Hadn't really had a chance to work on it.
I'm sorry. I thought
Did you see that, Master Mist, by the way?
I did, and
Okay.
I'm trying to kind of play it up more.
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure you saw it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the same voice as before,
Yeah.
so I can be just as dramatic.
Oh, no. So, listener has his suggestion now, which is if we can find reasonably dry and safe territory, you can attempt to hide out in my mind.
What are you hearing it right now?
She's like tapping the heel of her left palm into her forehead, like repeatedly. Can you hear the thudding, by the way, on my desk?
Oh
Yeah.
That's actually me doing it, by the way.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
Yes.
if I had a camera, this would be the time for you to actually watch me do this.
Indeed.
So we're
Church,
getting
what's
there.
the surroundings look like right now?
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh no! Oh no! You find yourself in a field of spikes. Roll for initiative.
Oh, what was that thing that attacked? No, I'm just kidding. 2 library. No.
Oh my god!
I'm not that.
What happened to the What happened to the things in this world wanting to run from a fight?
So. Okay, so as you're approaching, if any of you have actually, because I know there's a lot going on, you guys are kind of focused on what you're doing, the conversation you're having, and the discussion that's going on. You notice as you're moving closer, the water levels begin to drop, the ground becomes a little more solid, and eventually you notice under a thin layer of muck as the water, as you step out of the water completely, that you're no longer walking on just sediment and muck, but just underneath it is something really hard. Like the surface is very hard and very smooth. You kind of get this, as you notice, you kind of get this sense of, it's a weird blend of a mood that begins to kind of wash over you, somewhere between melancholy and like an ethereal tranquility. And very faintly, to the west of you, you could swear you hear these almost indiscernible and yet somehow still haunting little melodies echoing just at the edge of hearing.
Can I hear those over whatever else is going on?
Yeah, you can all hear that one.
It's
Seriously?
still getting worse?
The headache?
Right.
Slowly, it's very slowly, very gradual.
Okay.
Yeah, Saoirse's eyes are going to start twinkling because I think she recognizes what this is. The Echoing Grotto.
Genesis is trying to take like calming breaths and like looks at Az. How does that meditation stuff work again?
Well, you start by fortifying your mind and erecting your mental wards to practice your self-actualization and self-awareness of.
This must be the Echoing Grotto that Aurelie was telling us about.
How do you build those defenses? Do you just like think of them?
You can do like a mind thing, right?
I don't know.
Can I like share a memory of like
She is a psychic.
meditation training
I mean,
from like
I don't
years
know
ago?
I don't know if we could do like a full-on like 80s style montage where she magically
No,
learns
but
how to
like,
do it,
but like, yeah, you basically like, I just think back on like the ancient elven meditation techniques for like mental fortification.
you could start
Through the-
teaching her.
Like, Like I've had no less or no fewer than 8 gods whispering in my mind for hundreds of years.
We're all in the thought stream too, so I can see what he sees.
Yeah.
I am the supreme grandmaster. If anybody can teach you or help you ignore a voice in your head that doesn't belong there.
Yeah. I will say it's something you can teach over time, but it's not the method so much as the discipline that needs to be taught. And that just takes time.
That's the part that takes time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, you can begin teaching her.
Cool.
I have no problem with that at all. If she's willing to learn, I have no problem.
Yep.
It's something that you'll do at camp, though, because it has to be kind of a calm environment to begin, especially.
Okay.
Well, it looks like the Echoing Grotto's coming up, so.
Are you guys carrying on, moving?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Saoirse's got a bit of a spring in her step.
All right.
Is this the nearest looking defensible location?
Well, as you're carrying forward, and the muck begins to kind of clear out, you realize you're walking on a solid sheet of obsidian.
Jesus is hanging back in the like back of the group more and more.
Okay. So the obsidian is cracked and pitted, damaged. You can see where like things have fallen and struck it here and there, damaging what must have been at one time a pristine, polished surface. And the further in you get, the more you begin to see like bas-relief carvings in it as it begins to kind of scallop out, and you begin to kind of go down into this pathway that kind of leads deeper into the obsidian itself. And up ahead, you begin to see the twinkling of violet and pink and yellow and red lights up ahead, and what appears to be a opening leading kind of into the ground.
You said that parts of this obsidian have been damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just chipped off and then like washed away by the water, or?
Well, you're out of the water now.
Are there any loose pieces of this obsidian?
Sure.
Any smaller loose pieces, or just like large hunks of it?
You can get small pieces. It's volcanic glass, so.
Small pieces, but not small like slivers of it.
You can take a football chunk or a football-sized chunk of it, like a soccer-sized chunk, and like throw it in a bag and get all the little pieces you need.
Mm-hmm. What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to craft something out of it?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you'll be able to find what you need. I have no problem with that. There's plenty of it here.
It's notoriously easy to like sharpen by breaking it off. I've seen people like make arrowheads and like spearheads out of it. So
the indigenous South American and Mexican Peninsula peoples actually crafted a weapon that was supposedly able to cut a horse's head off in one swing with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good for weapons. So I think I like to think that a Ventrite would be more interested in. Ooh, I can use that for this. Yoink, you know.
I don't know.
So that's what I'm trying to play up.
No problem. Yeah, you can gather slivers of obsidian. I have no problem with that.
But Saoirse's definitely full speed ahead.
Wilhelm could probably grab a couple of scalpels worth.
Yeah.
I point this out to Wilhelm so he can do what he needs to do if he needs any sharp implements, because he might need that coming up pretty soon to do something that he needs to do.
Yeah, you're welcome to as well, Wilhelm, if you want to grab some pieces.
I'm gonna stick with my metal scalpels.
Okay.
I want to specify that I do the soccer ball size, a football sized, and a hand, like my full hand size and dimension.
Okay. Well, let's do fist size, because a football sized chunk of obsidian would actually be very heavy.
It's way down too much, yeah. Okay. So 3, about the size of my hand?
That's fine.
Okay.
So, moving forward, I assume everyone's moving forward. Saoirse in the lead. The bas-relief carvings you see begin to morph slowly into full-blown carvings, glistening, and occasionally just illuminated with these internal glows. Those are the lights you're seeing twinkling, almost giving them a life of their own, though they don't move or anything. It's almost as if they're guiding you into what appears to be an opening further on. You can kind of see it begin to open up as you move forward. It never gets completely dark, but it never gets very bright either. For those of you who have a natural tendency towards low light, like dwarves and elves, and this is actually very comfortable light for you. It's enough to show detail and color, but not enough to be really bright and mess with your ability. So it's very pleasant in that regard.
Oh, for once I can see.
Exactly. But yes, it does open up into a grotto. You ready? Bam!
Hit it.
Oh, gorgeous.
So it does open up into a grotto. The air in here is thick, once again, like I said, with this sense of melancholic tranquility. And you do still hear those faint, almost haunting melodies of long-lost dwarven songs echoing through the grotto, resonating. You can feel it almost in your core, even though it's not very loud. They create this kind of otherworldly ambiance that seems to make you want to go deeper into the grotto itself. It's calming, it's relaxing, it's peaceful, strangely beautiful in its own right. As you enter into the opening and the floor kind of levels out.
It's dwarven songs, not Shanakesian songs?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Okay.
Am I missing something? Why is that weird?
Like according to Orally, like this was supposed to be, like sort of where the Shanakesians hung out down in the domes, but yeah, that's why.
Is it?
According to Orally, that's what she said like 2 sessions ago.
It's where they would have hung out, but it's not an embassy or anything. It's still a dwarven location.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was a dwarven spot because she's in a dwarven library talking to us about things that are dwarven.
Most of
Is
what you're
this
going to find here is dwarven, so...
I am glued to Uki. Just like,
The
"Hi, what
Shanakesians
do you
just
think-"
liked the vibes.
What do you think of this?
Yeah,
What do you think
of
this?
all
I
the
thought the
places-
vibes here were good.
Of all the places they would visit within the domes, this would be it.
Yeah, because Saoirse asked about, like, you know, any places Shanakesians would have been, because she was asking, she wanted to know from Orally if there was anything, like, you know, from pre-Blight Shanakesian history, like, in the library.
If there was anything, this is where it would be.
Any aspect of Shanakesian history from their frequent visitations to this dwarven region. Okay.
Yeah.
Or whatever the dwarves had collected and
Is this-
cataloged about them.
Is this headache getting any better at all? Like,
The area you're in, the cool air down here, as it did kind of cool off as you went down, and the soothing kind of melody that you're experiencing, all of that together, it puts you a little bit at ease, but there's still a throbbing pressure in your head.
okay. We're just gonna take some calming breaths and close our eyes for a few seconds and try to, like, pull it together.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are in here. You should see the map in your tokens, I believe, right?
Sorry, I had this picture zoomed in real tight. Let me get out of there. I can see it now.
Yeah, you're good.
And Genesis is doing her best to telegraph, like, that the headache is still happening, you know, even though it's being abated by the surroundings, but slightly, you know, the pressure is still there and something may be about to happen.
Oh, can I walk over and can I put an arm around your shoulder and give you a big hug? Hold you tight.
I keep trying to tell you this is a bad idea.
It's bad. Well, you know, is it's not comforting? Is this?
If something goes down, you're gonna want to be as far away from me as possible, mentally and physically.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but you know, I'd rather try to calm you down. Like, I'm not doing this aggressively. This is as a friend. Like, you're hurting, and I
I'll try.
I would
guess.
like that not to be the case. I don't know.
Az is too wholesome for this world.
Oh my god!
So, as you're stepping in onto the floor and Az is doing this,
It's like, which one's bothering you today?
I don't know. There's just in the back of my head right here. There's just this thing. It's like this is accurate as I can be. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Do you mind if I do a little acupressure right over here and kind of like rub a neck shoulder bit? This might help, like ease the spiritual flow in your core.
If it works, sure, I'll try anything at this point, short of standing on my head, because I don't know what to do to stop this.
so as you guys are doing this, and you're entering into the area, you hear this real faint at first, but this wum, 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 and then this wave kind of washes over you, all of you.
Oh.
It's more of a physical force than a visible thing, but as it does, you kind of lose perception for a moment, just a moment, a very brief moment. But when it returns, you're standing on this barren, flat, just desolate landscape all around you, and up and above you and all out beyond you, you can see the black sky and stars. Strange thing for most of you. And in the distance, you see a large heavenly body floating in the sky, dark and covered with clouds. It's very cold.
Before we head any further, should we take a union break?
Give me just a sec.
He doing a thing. Do they keep any air up here?
And the air is very thin, but breathable.
I look around, I look up at the stars. Did we walk out?
I pinch myself.
It hurts.
Ow.
How did... Was there a door I missed?
I'm very confused.
I should not be here.
I haven't seen this. Is this okay? I've seen stars before. Are these like from the same perspective, or is this like a totally different night sky than I'd ever seen?
Okay, give me an intelligence check. I'll even give you advantage.
What?
Huh?
What is
Okay.
that?
You recognize constellations,
Oh, okay.
but they're
So it's
the angle's different. Slightly.
the angle's different. Well, that could be time, maybe.
They seem brighter, closer.
That's unusual. I don't know enough about astrophysics to, I mean, I do, but Az doesn't, so...
Well, I tell you what, if you guys want, once again, always by choice, you may give me a perception check.
Yes. Yes. 1 second.
Ooh,
the sheets.
Saoirse.
Good work.
Perception.
She is hyper observant because of what Arlie
Oh,
told
it's still
them.
at disadvantage. God.
No, that's fine. The first roll's what matter.
Okay. Alright. Now, Uki.
Listener just looking around like, this place has never known either sunlight or moisture. I should not be here. I am more out of place here than the land of the dead.
Well, wow. Uki,
21.
wow. Look at
Hey.
these rolls. My word. Az, do you want to make one as well? You don't have to. It's optional.
I thought I was doing the thing with the stars.
This is
Sure.
separate.
Okay.
All right. Solid. Very solid. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just give it to all of you at this point. In the distance, ahead of you, some ways out, very distant, you make out a small group of people traveling across the barren surface. Saoirse, because of your crit roll,
Yeah.
you see one of them that's very familiar. White skin, white hair, flowing robes. Genesis, you can make out some fair details as well based on your role, and Wilhelm too. There's something odd about this, something familiar even, especially those of you who have had some interesting chronological bubbles pass your way. As you're kind of dawning on you and you're getting this kind of hey moment, from behind you, you hear this powerful, seductive, beautiful voice whisper, "You're not supposed to be here yet." And then, whoom, and you're back in the grotto.
Ouch.
I pinch myself.
It hurts.
Ow. Anybody else see
Okay.
that?
Yes.
Absolutely. The
So,
people walking on the surface of the moon was ghosts.
What the hell was that?
Was a ghost.
What were those lights in the sky? What the hell was that?
Well, that was stars. You see, back in the day, before you kids ruined the planet, there used to be stars at night.
Genesis almost goes to say something, inhales to say something, and then is like, never mind.
It was like the world's theater every night. A new episode in Cosmic Tales.
You kids, you crazy kids.
So I will say,
Sure.
as you're kind of reorienting, you all notice that there's a thin layer of white dust on your boots.
White dust?
What does it feel like?
It's white
Powdered bone, I assume.
granulated dust. Yeah, similar to powdered bone. Just a very thin, faint layer of it. Wasn't there before.
Oh. In the prophecy, when it said, when we awake from restless sleep, we will stand upon the mother's head. I think we're actually supposed to go to the moon. The mother's
What?
head moon.
Are we awake?
Are we fools?
Yeah, I pinched myself. It hurt.
We must be fools. No one would willingly go to such a place.
How do
So-
you even get? That's impossible. Only the gods walk with the mother.
Now not even the gods.
Genesis
Well, we're
goes
on a
over
god's
here,
prophecy.
goes out the door, goes back in. Any want waves happening?
No. No
Back over
womp
here.
waves.
We're following the prophecy of a god. frankly, it makes perfect sense to me. If only the gods walked with the mother's head, maybe Bodhi wants to send us there for a reason. Well, certainly he wants to send us there for a reason. Everything that happens with these prophecies is for a reason.
So this dust is Mother's head? This dust is Mother?
Baby?
Question?
I don't
Oh,
know.
certainly that must be holy in some way.
Yeah, I'd like to like siphon all of that up. That's mine now.
Is there a difference in the amount that is on my shoe based on the moisture that was in the shoe? Like the one that was almost lost to the water versus the one that's kind of
the moisture
drying out
is
more?
the moisture is really the only reason it stuck to you to begin with. All your
The only
boots are
reason
still
it
kind of wet.
You cut out again. It's the only reason it stuck to them in the first place? Is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
your boots are all kind of wet.
Okay, so... Az, are you collecting it from everybody or just your shoes?
If I can kind of artistically just like pull it all in.
Genesis looks at you like... I guess, I guess you guys are talking about how sacred this stuff is, and I'm like, oh.
Do like a Tai Chi move, and then just kind of all of the dust swirls up, and then I condense it.
Are you using your ability?
Yeah.
Let's get an ability roll.
I would like to help. If possible.
24?
Point my toes upward. Make sure I'm not, like, putting it too much of my shoe on the ground.
Alright, let's see here. Excuse me, goodness.
I didn't know this was special. There's also some outside on the stairs.
I mean, it's very
back in.
special, but I'm using it as like magical steroids.
Mm-hmm. You're not gonna snort this later, are you? Like,
probably.
oh god.
Divine steroids. Okay, I'm gonna mix it in with my whey protein in the morning.
Oh my god. He's just like actually cutting lines of it. Yeah.
Chop,
sure.
chop, 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 chop. So
never give him a credit card.
He's an artist. He should make a holy artifact.
So as
Oh my
you
God.
you begin this, and like this whirl of incandescent lights and like playful specks of green and yellow and purple begin to kind of swirl around you and swirl around where you're focusing your energy, whipping up the dust into these little bunches. It's a very, very finite amount, like a thimble full of dust altogether, maybe. But you do manage to pull it off.
Yeah, but that's a thimble of the god.
And as you gather it all together in your hands finally, or wherever you put it, in the back of your mind you hear this playful little giggle.
Oh boy.
That one.
Headache still here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to stop and do something about this. All of this is very exciting, but we've got like actual problems.
Also, union break.
Also that, I guess.
Nature's calling over
Yeah,
here.
no, we can do the union break now. That's fine. We will be right back after this word from our bladders. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Und we're back. Welcome back. Okay, so you just had a weird experience there. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm sure it was nothing. Wouldn't worry about it a bit.
So, if Ghost and her friends were already on the mother's head, and that was actually a vision of what's outside of Cairn, then they made it.
What does "you're not supposed to be here yet" mean?
Friends?
Don't know.
We have
And
troubles.
who was that?
Wilhelm, let's direct our attention over here. Our friends are distracted.
There are more of them?
I'm very confused.
Yeah, like I told you, Genesis, Ghost said that when Ghost rescued me, she and her friends said that they were trying to get into Cairn.
Okay, this
That's
is
who all of
this
those
is
people
really
were.
just. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're doing something, right? What are we doing?
I'm taking this little dusting of Mother's head and working it into a skull form tattoo on the back of my hand.
Are you wanting to do that right now?
Yeah, well, I'm still like siphoning artistic energy.
Okay, because it's
and
going to
working
take that's going to take like a rest to craft everything you need.
We are not trying to move from this corner anytime soon.
Okay, I mean you're welcome to. I just like you're going to have to actually mix the dust into an ink.
I'm helping Wilhelm get his apparatus set up to produce this anti-psychic.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll
we're
work on
setting up.
that
we're
while
setting
I'm
up camp.
guiding Genesis through meditation techniques.
Okay, so we're setting up camp though.
Yes.
Small camp.
Yep, more or less.
Okay. All right, we can certainly do that. And we all have some tasks. Okay. So, I know what Wilhelm and Listener are doing. I know what Az and Genesis are doing. Uki, I'm assuming, is what, standing watch probably?
Actually, I would like to give Uki a chance to try to figure out what the gauntlets do that she picked up from the artifacts. Since she doesn't, I guess we're establishing a watch order, obviously, and she would take her place in that. But in the interim, in the time that she's not in the watch order, I would like her to get a chance to check that out.
Okay.
Since it is dwarven make, and she is the closest individual who would probably know about it.
That's fine.
She is our resident dwarf expert.
What about Saoirse?
Well, until Saoirse, rests, because I'm assuming that, everyone's going to be, doing things in the meantime until we rest and get that watch order established. I think she wants to look around and see if there's, anything of Shawnecusian make or anything of Shawnecusian history around the Echoing Grotto.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start with that. The rest of you guys are working, setting things up, mixing, matching, schmoozing, learning. Uki's examining and probing. Saoirse, you're just kind of wandering, looking.
Yeah, but not out of sight of everyone else, just because, obviously.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So, as you're looking about this area, once again, because you're actually getting the first real hard look at the surroundings, we'll say. Everyone's very involved in what they're doing. So first thing that you're noticing is that you can definitely see like the glowing bits of stone here and there, like crystalline, kind of mounted within the structure itself. It's a beautiful architecture, though it's definitely fallen to ruin and seen better days and had a lot of damage done to it. But as you're walking along, one of the things you do see in the distance are these flitting shapes stuttering across your field of view in the distance. It's almost as if it's a humanoid, dwarven figures holding musical instruments, and you'll see them kind of stop for just a fraction of a second in one position, and then stutter forward in another position, and stutter forward in another position. It's almost like they're staggering through time, through movement, and then fading from view in the distance. And by distance, I mean like way over here. As you move into the rooms, the plaza a little bit, you can see that the musics that you're hearing kind of become a little more tangled, but a little stronger. There's a harmony to it, but there's a dissonance to it as well. Something haunted. But what does stand out to you is if you look around, you'll see these kind of pillared alcoves all over the place. Yeah?
Yeah.
You notice what appear to be nestled in each one of them is a musical instrument on a small plinth. Some of them are broken and destroyed, some of them have fallen over and been damaged, but some of them are still in place.
Are they of Shawnee-Cajun make, or?
It's hard to say like at a distance.
She'll walk up and observe some of the non-broken ones.
Okay. Oops, wrong thing. Okay. So the first one you're going to come up to is right here. It's pretty close to you. And it kind of catches your eye because it's... You thought it was something covering maybe an instrument. But as you get closer, you actually realize that it is a tattered cloak. All on its own, just kind of laying there, half hanging off the plinth. It's been torn and looks a little ragged, but it's a strange hue of black. For lack of a better term, it's like looking at Vanta black in a cloak form.
Cutting out
Did I cut out again?
slightly.
No.
Just a little.
Very slightly.
I heard you said it's like Vanta Black in a cloak form.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're trying to say, but I'm just letting you know that it is doing it.
No, I appreciate
It's
it.
not bad, but it's just...
Yeah, let me cut out and back in real quick. Just to be safe. Because like I said, Discord hates me. Alright. So yeah, that's the closest thing you notice.
Alright, well, she's a little curious about the cloak. She's going to go and pick it up.
Okay. You pick it up. It's very light. The material feels smooth, almost like silk, but it's got a texture that's a lot more coarse. As far as like its durability, it feels actually pretty rugged.
I think she doesn't want anything to do with this yet, but she does recognize that this material is a little special, so she's just going to fold it, like, you know, gently, put it in her pack, and then continue on looking.
Okay. Alright.
She's specifically interested in anything that's old world Shawnee-Cajun, so...
Mm-hmm. Okay. Carry on looking. I'm gonna let you have a chance to pull one more lever of chance
Okay, what you
if
want
we
me to
want
roll,
to call
Chief?
that. So you're looking. Where are you looking? Are you just gonna go on to the next closest alcove, I assume?
Or
do you want
just
to branch out?
branch out and as far as I can without like getting out of sight of my friends here. So just anything that happens to draw my eye, anything that looks interesting, and particularly anything that's like a pre-blight Shawneesian origin.
Okay. Well, it's hard to pick out something specific like that because a lot of the instruments that Shawneesians used were common styles of instrument, and the instruments that they invented filtered out. So
Right.
specifics are you'd have to pick it up and examine it to try and determine if it's Shawneesian make. Dwarves were amazing craftsmen, so like their musical instruments were actually pretty amazing in and of themselves.
Yeah, well, she's not so much interested in it for the quality necessarily, but more so for the artistry. Like, sort of how she loved whenever she found the clothes on Hollowhaven, because it's, you know, a representation of Shawneesian, like, artistic and creative, like, you know, stylings from before the Blight that you don't really see anymore because they're all sort of dressing in drab rags to avoid notice.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. So I will say that. So you wander. We're gonna say up to about here. Fair.
Fair.
Okay. So right about here, I'm gonna say that in that alcove, there has been a little bit of a crumble, but you can kind of sift through it. It's just small debris, and underneath it, what caught your eye is there is a violin there.
Ooh.
But it is white.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's what caught your eye. It's a white violin.
Yeah, she'll grab that.
All right. So you brush the debris aside and pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. It's strange. You look at it and the shape is a little unique. It is stark white and it appears to be carved from one piece of something. It's porous, very dry. It has a bow in there with it. It's not horsehair. That's made from on the bow. Mm-hmm. But it does seem to be carved from the same thing. You're not sure what the actual hair part of the bow is. Strings are intact though.
She'll try playing it.
Okay, give me a performance roll, please.
There you are.
Okay. You have advantage.
Yeah, Shawneesian racial thing.
Yeah. So you begin to play, and this chill kind of washes over you as you're playing. And no matter what you try to play, it's like it comes out in this really dark, minor, diminished key. And before you hit like the fourth or fifth note, you see this speck of black in front of you that immediately just like spirals in an aperture style into an open, black, shimmering circle in front of you. It's humming slightly.
She's going to stop playing and back away from that. She's taking the instrument with her, though.
Okay. As you stop playing, it kind of shimmers and shifts and then slowly deteriorates into nothing. The black disc. So you're gonna take that with you?
Yeah, she's taking it with her.
Okay.
But yeah. She'll walk back over to the group.
All right. So you walk back over to the group. I'll let you move your token. Let's see. Wilhelm and Listener.
Yes.
You guys are working in unison to create the nullification agent still, right?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and give you your rolls on that.
I will allow Wilhelm to make his actual rolls with advantage. I'm just assisting here, providing bonus leads.
You can give him a finger.
It'll grow back, but probably not very fast down here.
Not a lot of light.
Try not. I don't think I'm gonna need a whole finger. I hope.
Just a core sample, it's fine.
Just a haircut. Snip, snip.
Alrighty. What would you like me to roll?
Let's start with nature and then your ability roll. These should be cake for you.
That would be a 30.
As I said,
Damn.
should be cake for you.
Jeez.
Let's go ahead and get your ability roll.
That's gonna be a 25.
Solid. So you not only managed to do no damage to listeners, physical form, extracting what you need from him, you managed to make twice the normal amount of doses. So you actually get more than you expected, more than you bargained for.
So 2 doses?
Mhm.
Okay, so we've got 2 doses.
And what delivery method are you using for these doses? Are you using the powder bomb? I think is what you had last time, right? Was it a powder bomb?
It was a powder bomb. That was how it was originally, though.
Do you want to change the delivery method? You made good rolls. I'll let you.
I'd like to do one as a powder bomb
Okay.
and one as a liquid.
Like injectable or
Ingestible.
ingestible? Okay.
Yeah, something I can actually hand Genesis so that Genesis is in control and can drink it if she chooses.
Okay. That's fine. Very good. Just make sure you mark it down, of course. It's a smashing success. Smashing. Very good. No damage to listener either. I was hoping you'd do at least a point.
Man's professional.
Of course, I don't think listener needs any more damage at this point, really. He's hurting a little bit.
Sorry.
I could be doing slightly better. It's okay. It's a small price to pay.
It was nice to see what Genesis could potentially do.
Define nice.
Well, I enjoyed it.
What I'd like to actually do with it now, powder goes to listener
Okay.
so that they can shut it off if needs be.
Okay.
And the liquid, I'd like to approach Genesis, and we've completed it. I have one for you. If you feel yourself needing it, all you need to do is drink.
Okay. Genesis?
What do I need to roll to be aware of the fact that I might not be,
I'll let you roleplay that, honestly. You know your character's mindset more than anybody, so I'll trust you to roleplay that.
She looks at it and is like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to choose to use that.
I understand. What would you how would you prefer? Would you like me to carry it if needs be? Or now I did make 2 doses. The one I'm giving to you. And there is another version I actually gave to Liz.
So if it's ingestible, does that mean that I have to drink it in order for it to work, or does that mean that it can be like I can breathe in the liquid?
I do not recommend breathing in liquid. That's bad for most forms of life.
Trying to figure out how you can force her to take it if need be, because if she gets the vial and then is convinced that it's poisoned by whatever's doing this, all it takes is just a dash on the ground and the vial's broken and it's useless, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that one's a liquid, so
Yeah.
you throw it on the ground and it's pointless.
it's-
That's why there's an aerosolized version on Listener as backup.
I want to be sure you get it, right?
I do, but I also don't want to take your consent. I want, if at all possible, this to be your choice to deaden this part.
Okay,
I will do it if needs be. If that's what you wish.
we're gonna try this.
And we do have the powder form. It's what listeners carry. But I
This isn't like a vial, like a test tube or something?
yeah, just it's a test tube.
Got a little stopper.
Genesis will take it and kind of starts looking at the vines over here. Are those like ivy sort of growing along it? The statue that's been felled in the center here?
Oh,
You're muted, Church.
sorry, I was typing. What were you saying?
Are the vines on this statue that's felled here like an ivy sort of thing?
Actually, it's lichens, fungus, and some type of strange coral. Not Carl, coral.
I'm trying to find something that would dampen an impact, like a scrap of fabric or something I could wrap around this.
You guys are covered in clothing. You're welcome to tear off a strip. I bet Wilhelm's got bandages.
I mean, Wilhelm has the fact he's got his kit. He's got stuff to transport bottles so that they don't break.
Oh, is
Do you
that
have
is
a
that your
thing?
concern about having it broken accidentally?
Or on purpose, yeah.
You can put it in a wineskin or something. In fact, I'll tell you what. We'll say Wilhelm has a metal vial. How about that?
Okay,
Just
great.
to be nice. It's in his kit.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it was all glass, his whole kit would have been destroyed a long time ago, let's be honest.
Okay.
You guys have been through it.
Genesis
We
takes
really
it
have.
and looks at him with appreciation for this grisly thing we're gonna have to do eventually. And it's just like, I really hope it doesn't come down to this. This headache is getting worse and worse.
Genesis, that thing from earlier happens again. A little more urgent this time.
How visible is Genesis's distress here?
I'd say she's been visibly distressed since the library.
That is true enough. I mean, like, can you read the spikes in intensity on her face?
I'll let you make an insight check if you like.
I am content doing this.
Genesis, are you trying to hide your distress?
Not at all.
Okay. You're not
I
sure.
do struggle with faces,
Yeah.
not having one myself.
You're not sure. Something's going on. I'll say that. Something's going on, but you're not sure if this is like a normal human response to stress or something more. People are weird.
To Genesis, again very quietly in the brain. It may be wisest to take it now. See if it stops the pain as well. Hopefully it will be a less traumatizing experience for you than for me. I understand you still possess many other senses that will be useful in navigating.
I mean, that shouldn't be necessary. But it's a good backup plan.
She's looking at this vial like it's literal poison. And it's just like,
There's nothing wrong with your abilities. That's what makes you desirable to the voices. They have no power here without you. You are in control.
this isn't permanent.
Without us,
No.
they have no power here. They're just trying to get servants. And if you give in once, they'll get their hooks into you.
It is not permanent.
You'll have to be strong to resist them. Once they get your attention, or once you gain their attention, it never ends. But the stronger you are, the more self-aware, self-conscious, in control of your center, the quieter they get. Until one day, they lose interest because they know they've lost.
My only thing about this is that we haven't had a chance to try the meditation that we were going to do yet. We would have been doing that as they were making this.
They're just whimsical balls of emotion with no power in the physical realm. They can't do anything here without us.
As?
It's all just a great game to these Pact Lords, these Whisperers.
As
try
I
to
Trying to
suggest
control
the
us like puzzle
possibility
pieces in their
that
grand game.
the voice in Genesis's head is perhaps slightly different from the voices that appear in yours.
Does anybody here not have voices in their head?
I am
we,
voices in
Can we
people's
do
heads.
this the way we would have done it chronologically? Because I doubt that Az and I would have been sitting there waiting for Listener and Wilhelm to finish making this before handing it to me.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
were
you could have
trying to
been
do this
in mid.
concurrently.
You could have been in mid meditative
Oh, yeah.
learning state. That's fine.
I would like to at least see how that went before I make this decision, because I feel like that would have a lot to do with the choice that I'm making right now.
Honestly, it would have gotten worse.
Nothing I tried in this initial session would have been
You would have. You
immediately
would have.
visible.
You would have been horribly distracted. You was struggled to find your focus, like he's trying to direct you to, which he would probably view as just a lack of discipline.
I'm wearing my mask. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can do, but it's just nothing's working
You're
with that.
You're fidgeting like a kid with ADD in a math class.
Okay. Genesis is like looking from Az to Wilhelm to Listener, and she starts to laugh and then looks horrified. She's looking at this vial and like trying to psych herself up to take it, and it's just like, come on, just do it, just get it over with, just get it over with.
It's not so bad. It's very quiet afterwards.
What do I need to roll against myself?
I mean, I'll let you do like a wisdom check if you really want to. You can roleplay it if you prefer.
I really could. I really could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do. Okay. I don't want to keep holding this up anymore, so I'm just gonna. I have no idea what,
Okay.
what the save.
Chug.
What's the save for this? Am I just doing wisdom save against like a normal standard?
I mean, I'll let you decide the DC if you want.
You're doing what you feel like.
Okay. We're gonna say, I'm gonna roll a wisdom save with advantage.
Okay.
And the first roll will be me not taking the vial. And the second will be me taking it.
Okay.
I have this voice and I have as influencing me not to take it. And then I have Wilhelm and Listener trying to convince me to take it. So I'm going to advantage both of these rolls, like 2 and 2.
Okay. Go for it.
Convoluted, but I hope it works. First one is that's the wrong.
Whoops, do over.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry. That's the wrong character sheet.
It's all right.
Hang on. Okay.
Uki's trying to help you.
For first one, 13. Good. That's the same.
Same.
And then the second one, which is to take the vial, is also.
Also 13.
Oh my god.
The
Okay.
exact
fates-
same two rolls.
The fates are suggesting that you choose.
It is your choice.
6 and 13 twice.
I can't. I can't.
What do you mean there's other voices?
Saoirse's gonna pipe up.
We've come across a great many powerful psychic entities that were not, well, powers, exactly.
Genesis looks at Wilhelm and just sends as much murderous intent as possible through her eyes at him, just like
Staring daggers.
I warned
Saoirse will
you.
say,
I warned you. I warned you.
Saoirse's gonna pipe up and say, you should do whatever you think is going to help you, Genesis. Sounds like Wilhelm only wants to help.
Do you need help?
I close the vial. My eyes are locked on you. I drop it to the ground.
Listener can be very sneaky sometimes. How focused in on Wilhelm are you?
Yeah, I'm not.
Pretty focused by the sound of it.
I'm not trying to focus on him. I'm trying to convey something to him, which I guess I'm not. I don't use my. I'm not using my eyes though. That's the thing. Like I can't say that my eyes are on him and you're in my periphery because that's not even an accurate statement.
Yeah, she's got
So-
the mask on.
I'm using other abilities right now to look at him. You know.
So it's an,
Well,
an
I thought we were all in the thought stream.
empathic staring of daggers.
Mm.
Oh no, we're not in the thought stream. I've got that ability burned.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, you're talking to him via your own path right now.
okay. Yeah. Well, I'll do that. I'll put out the energy.
Okay.
You know, like we just literally just talked about this. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, and I'm not able to take this.
Would you notice me sneaking up on you? Would you like to roll against this? Can we do that
You
real
can.
fast?
Do a stealth versus perception.
Oof. How's your perception looking there, Genesis? God damn. Just when you needed it to be a bad number.
Well, you're wearing the mask, too.
You guys, you gotta roll better. What the fuck? That was advantaged. What's wrong with you?
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
god!
I tried to generate numbers. What can I say?
Would you
Aren't
like
you
to?
wearing the mask?
Yeah,
Doesn't that have an effect?
that doesn't affect
No,
her
I
awareness at all.
No.
It's supposed to cut her senses off.
Well, it cuts her
No.
physical senses off. She's actually probably a more perceptive with it on.
Nat 20. What the fuck?
Can
Well,
I will let you use a luck point to re-roll and hope to
We've
fail. if you
established that a nat 20 is not getting rerolled with a luck point.
want. I'm just throwing it out there that I would let you, but it's your call.
I can't.
So yeah, I guess in that case, you sense listener kind of creeping up on you.
She's gonna run again.
Okay.
Pew! Like last time, do the same thing. I don't know what that was, so I don't know how to roll it, but
Okay,
You
give
know,
me
do a thing.
give me an ability check.
oh my god. Fail it. Please fail it. Come on. You can fail. Where's my ability?
Remember your lessons.
My ability is proficiency and intelligence mod.
Plus D20.
Great. Okay, great. Fail it, fail it, fail it, fail it, fail it! It's 15? Is that a fail?
Poof. Genesis wavers for a moment
Come on!
and vanishes. Poof.
Would I be allowed to drop the metal vial at the same time?
You already said
You
you
already
dropped
dropped
it,
it.
so you're good.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's there on the ground, and I'm poofed.
I had better students.
Where? I don't know
She has
where I just
potential.
went. I'm so sorry.
Listener picks up the vial.
Uh,
It may be necessary to take a more firm hand. Genesis is currently in the thrall of a potent psychic entity and is not fully in control of her mind.
oh my god.
Alas,
The
I
more
feel I
reason-
grow more visible by the day.
all the more reason to give her the strength to ward it off.
A great tree grows over the course of centuries, as
Yes, yes, I know. I did.
we had approximately 20 minutes.
Well, hopefully, I was able to distill 700 years of knowledge into enough of a tidbit to give her the strength to find her way through.
Her powers are very great. We can do little besides keep our eyes peeled for her return.
She has a strong potential.
So,
I believe in my students. I don't pick them wisely or lightly.
I feel like the first statement might also be true.
I don't seldomly have. It's been a very long time since I've had a student.
so Genesis poofed. What are the rest of you guys doing in the fallout of this moment?
Well, I guess I'm gonna work on this tattoo.
Give me your
Saoirse, like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say Saoirse looks very worried and concerned, but she's going to start to try and figure out some of the artifacts in her position, but let Az do the thing first.
All right. Az, go ahead. Give me your
My,
ability
my
roll.
pupil disappears. I just kind of shrug. Well, all right.
She'll come back.
And then we'll go back. She'll be right back.
Okay. That's not bad. So yeah, you do manage the beautiful piece of work tattooed onto your hand like you wanted, the image of Rokana, the skull, in a nice high contrast, well shaded form. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what this does. Okay.
Cool.
This has a twofold effect. First and foremost, it grants you a profound connection to the ancient wisdom and insight of Rokana. So the infused bone dust of the Elder Goddess, it endows you with an enhanced understanding of the mysteries of existence, allowing you to make informed decisions and navigate the complexities of life. This will be a +2 insight bonus permanent.
Ooh.
However, on the other side of this, there is a negative effect. Luckily, you're an elf. So, your lifespan has been slightly extended. You can feel this, as if you've been granted additional time. However, every time you use your abilities, you will age 1d4 years.
Oh, that's fun.
If you age more than a decade in a day, you basically will suffer a level of exhaustion. So it had a negative and a positive effect.
Cool. Let me try this. Cool. It works. That was a test.
Okay. There you go. So you have a little more time, but you're burning through it quicker. All right. So, real quick, in lieu, is anyone doing anything about Genesis disappearing, or are you just letting her take her time?
Yeah.
I am posted up, on watch essentially, but mostly looking for Genesis.
Okay. So you're actively looking. Wilhelm, what were you saying?
Never mind that. I was gonna see if listener wasn't doing anything. I was gonna try to make more.
I can
But-
provide you with leaves easily.
Yeah, I'd like to continue working on making more doses.
Okay. It was a metal vial, so the one that she dropped is still laying there if you want to grab it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that, but I
Okay. Yeah, so just give me your same 2 rolls again. Nature and your ability roll. And we'll get that out of the way real quick.
I'm just checking to see.
You're good.
So nature, 20,
Solid. No harm done.
and intelligence, that's a 19.
All right. Yeah, that's another dose. No worries.
Alrighty.
You're welcome to define the delivery method as well.
This one, I want to make it so it'll work in my hand, mister.
Okay. That's fine.
So I can aerosol this.
Okay. Not a problem. Just make sure you mark it down. Listener, you said you were looking actively?
Yes. I'm patrolling the, general area. I look outside, I look over this way.
Okay. Are you
I
reaching
keep my
out with
senses wide open.
reaching out with an ability or just general senses?
Oh, just the psychic connection, most likely. You know, I have that general ability to detect sentient creatures.
Okay.
Genesis is one of the most sentient creatures I know.
That's fair. What are you trying to say, Genesis? I see you lighting up.
Am I allowed to try to do something where I am?
Of course you are.
Where am I?
Well, would you like to send me secret messages, or I don't know how you want to.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a cool violin. Where'd you find that?
I found it over in an alcove.
Oh, neat.
When I began to play it, it manifested something dark, like a dark ring in front of me.
Oh. Yeah, back in the day, the Shonokisians, they kind of did this thing with music. It was kind of like a light show and kind of like an opera at the same time. Did you not know about that? I mean, the darkness, that's kind of, moody, but it was really beautiful back in the day. Did you know about that? Like dancing lights and stuff and illusions in the sky from the music?
I mean, we did all sorts of things of that nature. Magic was in our blood, and music is how we manifested it.
Yeah, and that was one of the. That looks like a master crafted, I don't know, like the Grand Orchestra's private collection. Something a very strong musician would have had.
Is it of Shonokisian Nick Church?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so
as
Sirius is just sort of smiling.
as you look at this thing, and I'm gonna give you this based on your history.
Mm-hmm.
You've taken enough opponents apart to recognize that this is carved from a very large piece of bone.
Oh, okay, yeah, the bone violin. That makes sense.
One bone. It was something
One bone.
very big.
Single bone violin.
Saoirse at this point doesn't know whether to toss it away or like just be in awe at like a creature that had bones as big, but she's just like, yeah, she's definitely just going to stash it.
Be a powerful resonator.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, as a conduit for your own abilities.
Yeah, maybe, but she was equally out of character. She was equally as squeamish about the fucking pipes. I forget the exact name of it right now, but yeah, she was just as squeamish by the fact that it was made out of like skin and bone. So she's just like, ugh.
That actually gives it value and lasting power. They tend to endure time better than most other materials. And some say they carry some measure of the original creature's will or power.
yeah, you're saying this, but like you can tell that like it's just kind of blowing over Saoirse's head a bit as she's wrestling with her own like internal disgust and discomfort.
If it makes you feel any better, it wouldn't have been humanoid.
Yeah, I've realized this. And she just kind of shakes her head, and she's just going to say, I'm going to focus on this crown that we found at the library now. So yeah, she wants to try and figure out the crown.
Okay. Sorry. Let me check something real quick like here. This is... Okay, so tell me what you're doing.
I don't know, she assumes this is a magical artifact, like, just wants to figure out what this thing does, like, just sort of get a feel for its magic. She doesn't want to attune, well, I mean, she wants to attune to it in as much as she wants to, like, figure it out, but, like, she doesn't want to, like, use it just yet, if you know what I mean. Like, she wants to know what it does, but she doesn't want the effect to be, like, active on her yet.
Alright, so you're not putting it on, you're just getting a feel for it, basically?
Yeah, trying to figure out, like, what it does, but not in a sense that she receives any, like, benefits or curses or anything like that from it.
Okay.
So.
I'll give you a chance. It's a little outside your wheelhouse because it's like an arcane item.
Right.
Let's just try an arcana roll. Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really pulling much from it, but I'll let you try one more thing if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
A history roll.
Okay. Better.
Okay. You've seen images in tapestries of a crown that looks similar to this, always on the head of a leader that was known for being very charismatic, but at the same time not well liked.
Saoirse kind of like furrows her brow a bit and like puffs her cheeks out at knowing that history, and she's gonna call over Listener and say, Listener, do you think you could come help me figure out, anything what this does? I can't make heads or tails of it. I know the history of it, or a bit of history, but not much.
I can conduct an examination, but only a brief one. It's important to keep an eye out for Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will make an Arcana check. That work for you, Church?
You can actually give me your Arcana stability check if you'd prefer, because...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Got a 15 for you.
Okay. So you reach out with your abilities and kind of gently probe it, and you can feel the power that's at hand there, and can feel its... Dang, the music thing's being crazy. You get the sense that this will enhance the wearer's charismatic aptitude if worn. But you get the sense that there's something else in there, but you can't quite put your finger on
I turn it over a few times. I look at it. I lay my hands upon it. I hand it back to Saoirse and say, "It appears to be for persuasiveness, but there is a catch in it. It is too complex an artifact for it to simply be doing the persuasiveness. I can examine the systems, but I do not know precisely what effect they would have."
She'll nod and put the crown away.
Okay. Okay. You don't want to put it on?
No.
You sure?
She is sure. She is 100% sure.
Who's even around to persuade, really?
I mean, Genesis. No. Convince listener to carry you for the rest of the adventure. I don't know. Can I ride on your shoulder? You know, that type of thing. He's a big guy.
Yeah, there's room up there.
So you just putting it away then?
Yeah, she's not doing anything with it.
Okay, that's fine. Anybody doing anything else while we're up here at camp?
If I've made my dose, I'm gonna try to focus on that shield I got.
Okay. Okay. Let's do... You don't have any art... No, you just did spiritualist. That's right.
Yeah.
You give me an arcana or history check.
I'm gonna go with history.
I figured you would.
There's a...
Okay. This is an ancient relic of Grundholm, once carried by one of the shield guards of the king himself. This is the Aegis of Dwarven Resilience. You've read about this in history books. It was famed to supposedly turn blades, spears, and arrows aside as long as the one who held it was true of heart and true of purpose.
I'm gonna try to attune to it.
Okay. It won't be a problem to attune to. We'll say it just takes a long rest. I don't generally do attunement because, I don't know, I've never really liked that role too much. So basically what this does is give you a +2 AC while wielded, +3 damage resistance to all non-magical damage,
Oh, shit.
and magic resistance.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is a pretty good item.
Consider should try for the gold chain.
Uh-huh. You want to do the same thing? Arcana or history?
Yeah. Can she try both if one doesn't work? Because I have the same modifier for both.
It's your call.
Okay. That was much better Arcana this time.
Yeah, no, that's decent. Interesting. So, as you're holding them, now you don't really understand this entirely, but you feel like just holding it and focusing on it the way you are, you feel almost like you're forging a visceral connection with this chain. Like it's very quickly like seeping into you, becoming a part of you. You're not sure why, not sure what the purpose is, but you can feel it.
She lets go.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't want anything controlling her or anything of that nature, so she... Yeah, I think she's wary from just like, you know, all the shit they've encountered over the course of this adventure. And what she's seen her friends go through with, like, you know, different mind control shenanigans.
So you just drop it. Clatters to the floor. Everybody kind of hears that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fancy chain.
You're welcome to take a look at it, Az, but it tried to want to meld with me, and I'd rather not.
It wanted to stop the world and melt with you.
That'd be a great honor. Those are they look like, they look like a physical form of my golden tattoos.
Are you gonna try to...
Have at it.
Sure. I'll like wrap it around my shoulders and scarf it a bit.
Alright. So you're actually like wrapping it around you and comfortably...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You feel a similar sensation, as if it's trying to not physically merge with you, but bond with you, like on a almost a spiritual level.
It's fun.
You let it go?
Yeah, I can control it.
Okay.
I can always use some new bling.
So, the chain...
Simply not afraid of the voices.
The chain actually does...
The Supreme Grand Master.
It wraps around you and in like a cross pattern over your shoulders. It crosses over in your chest, wraps around your waist very slowly, and you can feel it. It's almost not tightening or uncomfortable. In fact, it's almost warm, welcoming even. And then suddenly it's like a switch flips in your brain and you suddenly feel this incredible, powerful urge. Not just an urge, but a command that you must reinstate the Dwarven Empire to its former glory.
Cool. Yeah, I can go along with that.
Okay.
We are going dwarf mode.
I always respected the dwarves a little bit, at least. Does this come on? Do I get any sort of... Can I read Dwarven, at least?
That would be super... That would have been super helpful.
That would have been super helpful in the library.
You know what? I will give you that. How about that? I'll give you that. You get the innate ability to read, speak, and understand Old Dwarven.
Old Dwarven. This is the chosen of Zevran. These are Zevran's chains.
Listener should have posted a sign. He should have said, "We are currently at 0 days since last psychic takeover of a party member." That sign's gonna stay at 0 for a minute.
All right. So, anybody else doing anything?
Does anybody else want to handle cursed artifacts? How are we doing on the cursed artifacts right now?
I mean,
I think I got the not cursed one, so I'm gonna be happy and stay with what I got.
Yeah, we're sitting pretty.
anybody else?
Has my observation for Genesis borne any fruit whatsoever?
Give me a disadvantaged perception roll, please.
Could have been worse.
You get the sense that she's somewhere here in the grotto. Still. Not sure where, but she hasn't gone too far, is the sense that you get. Like, you can still feel like a lingering presence.
I become stationary. I sit upon this low wall here.
Okay. Blending in.
Yes.
Once again, over here you see those flitting spectral shapes, like jittering through movement and time, occasionally playing musical instruments. They seem to be almost, not contained, but they seem to be staying over on that side of the grotto. They're not messing with you or don't even seem to really notice you, but it's odd. It's an odd sight, or sensation, I should say, for you.
Mm-hmm. He observes them briefly, but listener is at long last learning to focus.
Are you using ability at all?
Only my psychic ones, the innate OM psychic ones in the search for Genesis. Otherwise, I am not currently deploying any abilities.
Wait, you have the ability to recognize spectral entities.
Oh yeah, I can see spirits. Like, if those are ghosts, I know they're ghosts.
Yeah, they're definitely spectral entities.
Hmm.
Not like anything you've ever seen, though. You're not sure why they're staggering through time the way they are.
This entire place is so very unusual. I would like to figure this out, but there is simply no time until we have secured Genesis and freed her of this psychic hassle.
Okay. So just not messing with them, just leave them be for now?
Yeah, the dead tend not to go anywhere. That's one of the main benefits, really.
Generally. Unless they're chasing you.
Yes. But midnight has come. We are at a very quiet moment now.
Okay, well, let me get one more roll in here.
Oh no. He's rolling the cliffhanger generator.
Yeah, the librarian followed you. Ah!
No.
I can do it. How's it going, student? I know you're still there. You're just making me think you're not there. Are you coming to center yet?
Okay. Master Miss, we're gonna have to get into that one probably off screen. So before we do tie up, does anyone have anything they want to do? And we'll just say we'll finish out the rest. I'll give you guys the benefit of a long one, including whatever Wilhelm wants to heal.
Did Uki find the gloves?
Oh yeah, we didn't do the gloves, did we?
Sorry, I forgot to do the thing.
That's okay. Do you want to do that?
Is there time?
Yeah,
No.
we can do that real quick.
Just chilling.
Arcana still?
Yeah, if that's what or history.
Equal skills in both. Proficient in neither, so I'll do Arcana.
In fact, I'll give her. Let's see. Well, I'll give her an advantage on a history roll because it's a dwarven.
We'll change that to history. Wow,
Oh,
look
yeah,
at that.
yeah,
Oh my god.
No, she didn't make sense of the magic part. We'll see if she makes sense of the history part. One more roll. Okay, we'll go with a 15.
Oh god. Sorry.
Once again, she gets the impression that she has seen in old carvings that symbol. Remember, the gauntlets themselves have a heart on them, like a bas-relief heart carved into them. They appear to be made of stone. She's seen these gloves and carvings of the King's Guard from the old Grundholm days. Does she want to try and put them on?
I think I'll leave that to the player. I'll let her choose if she puts them on or not next time, because I don't want to
Okay.
bring any undue consequences on someone else's character and do something they wouldn't have done.
She dies. I'm just kidding. Oh.
There's a lot of cursed artifacts going around. This is a
We'll
wise
see.
precaution.
Yeah.
No,
we
nothing's
basically
been,
just
nothing's been
what?
cursed. It's fine.
it's not necessarily cursed. It's just that it's like we raided the tomb of Zevran's last champion.
It's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't worry. Not one single bit. Right?
I'm sure it's fine.
Right. I mean, it's just a little disrespect. Well, I mean, okay, so somebody else raided the tomb. We just borrowed it
Content.
from the museum. We just borrowed its contents from a museum. That's not necessarily the same as tomb raiding.
Yeah. So you guys, now you didn't make a whole lot of progress, but I mean that's fine because tonight was a big role play night. I think.
We made emotional progress.
Yeah.
I think.
There's a lot going on, and I'm sure you each have your own ideas and conspiracy theories and all that wonderful stuff. You know how much I love that stuff too. I love hearing what you guys think is going on. You had the strange voice, your visit to the moon, Genesis is acting weird. You starting to kind of go through and stockpile all your fabulous loot.
Yeah, a lot of these are getting sold in the Hall of Fireflies.
Which will get you a substantial net amount of credit there too, because these are big. Even if it is a cursed artifact, it will sell. You know, obviously, collectors are collectors, and a cursed artifact, in the terms of how an arcanist works, is still a font of power. An arcanist doesn't necessarily make use of positive or negative energy. It's just arcane energy.
It's just a battery that's
Exactly.
pre-fueled.
Old
What
world magic, what the items do on their own, whole different story. Not necessarily cursed all around, at least. The dwarven chains of fate that Az has, that was fun.
That's fun. That is fun. I like that one. I didn't expect that, but hey, that's gonna add some fun.
Now you've got the gold chains you're wearing across your chest, like a
Hell yeah!
big tough guy.
Supreme Grandmaster needed some bling.
Some bling. That's right. You guys got any questions, concerns?
No. Big chiller.
Anything you're
Yeah.
curious about?
I mean, I'm curious about like everything that Saoirse has, but like, yeah. She ain't gonna put them on to find out.
Oh, go for it. Be brave.
No.
What's the worst that could happen?
You can have some,
So, when was the last time you guys leveled up?
I feel like it's been a hot minute, actually.
Yeah.
No. I feel
Not
like I feel
sure
like you
we've
deserve
leveled
one.
since we arrived here.
I feel like you deserve a level. Would you guys like a level?
I'd love it.
Yes.
I would.
Say no.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and take a level. You guys, you earned it. You're in the domes. You made it through the library. You made it through the lower library. You found all these crazy artifacts. You've been through that crazy brine swamp. Like it's been crazy down here, and you guys have done well. Nobody's died yet. I shouldn't have said yet, should I? Well, you guys are doing good. Honestly, I can't wait to figure out everything that's going on and how things are tying together between this and the other campaign, and they're raring towards each other, which I'm excited about. But I hope you guys, I do hope you guys are still having fun. I know there's a lot of mystery right now and a lot of open-ended questions and things you're probably like, what's going on? And that's by design at this point, so don't worry. All shall be revealed in time. Unless the party wipes. And, you know. Hopefully that won't happen, though. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
You know, stuff.
Why would
yeah.
that happen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, it'll be fine, right?
Why would that ever happen?
Be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not thinking of snapping any necks. It's fine.
Why would you be snapping necks?
No, why would I when I can get you to do it for me?
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
Hey, that's not very nice, but if you ask politely, maybe.
I can be
Probably
very
not,
persuasive
no.
when you can't see where I am.
This is very true.
We were friends.
Oh. you guys gotta have better plans in place, man. I
Listener is working on it.
I thought we were friends.
Please.
All right, who called for ludicrous? Oh, you don't need
In
me.
my
Like a good
suffering.
neighbor,
Oh
stay
my
calm.
god.
This is
Listener understands. We are not persuading a friend into a reasonable course of action. We are attempting to manage a powerful psychic disease.
It's everything you wished for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing.
One with very
Until
dangerous effects
this
to
happens.
basically everyone around.
I just gave Genesis a new theme song.
On
Oh my god.
I'm gonna run away screaming.
Anyway, before we tie up everybody's time out there, I want to thank you guys for joining us, my dear, dear, beloved players, my dear, dear, beloved watchers and listeners, anybody who tunes in later after the fact on YouTube. This is an epic tale. I think it is. And I think the guys that are playing are making it an epic tale. And you don't want to miss it. So tune in.
Church,
Yes.
ads, sponsors.
We're not doing that one anymore.
Yep.
We
Okay.
have come to the decision. Unfortunately, we love Skull Splitter. They're wonderful, but they just aren't doing anything to reciprocate what we do. So my ad skills, I'm just saying, my marketing skills are through the roof. I should be getting paid.
You are. Yeah.
Anyway, we love them. If they want to renegotiate that down the line, I'd love to. But we are working on some other things. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you guys know, of course. But definitely, excuse me. This next week's going to be pretty chill because it's holidays, I believe. I don't think we have a game Saturday, right? We're skipping this week.
Yeah, because it's gonna be the 23rd. Like.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's Christmas holidays. I don't know if Chance is running his Thursday game. I think he still is. For the Christmas short shot. I think we've got one more session of that, really, and then
Yeah.
Can we pick up with Sigil in the following week because it'll have been a month since we played that?
I don't mind. Yeah, if you guys are cool with it, I'm cool with it. It's no sweat for me either way, especially now that they're kind of doing this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's no sweat for me. If you guys want to do Sigil when we do come back, we'll jump right back into Sigil and we'll just start flip-flopping from there again. I got no problem with that. I'm actually excited where you guys are with Sigil right now because you guys are doing some pretty wild stuff, and I got some really wild stuff planned. That probably didn't make you feel better.
I don't know. That last time I got flung around, that was...
It was amazing.
Wild.
It's amazing.
It's pretty wild.
But yeah, definitely stay tuned. Join our Discord. Come talk to us. We've got more games coming. More incredible craziness coming. We've been streaming some Hunt Showdown for those of you who like the video games. You can come watch me and Shun and Chance and Urban murder zombies in the Louisiana swamp together. And that's fun. As well as get murdered by other hunters, which that's always a laugh too. But yeah, thanks. We'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.